appearance, this is a gorgeous airplane. What's it called?
It is a CubCrafters. It's our new Carbon Cub SS. It's
this airplane here, though, the performance is just outstanding on it. What's different about this airplane?
well, it's very similar, kind of in theory, if you will, to our S2. Basically the same airframe, except we've made some modifications, firewall forward and in the wing. The wing, for example, it's the exact same USA 35B modified wing, but we've basically built this wing up to 40% stronger than the ASTM standards require, because we also sell this aircraft in a kit, and if a builder so desires, they can have a absolute or a gross weight of 1,865 pounds. So we just decided to make this wing 40% stronger than we needed to. So it's about a design load wing of about 6 Gs, and an ultimate load, I think we took it up to 8.65 Gs. And then firewall forward, we have a ECI Stroker 340 engine. It's basically an 0320 that we've stroked out to 340, put some high compression, I think it's 9-to-1 pistons in it, and we've updated it, took the mags off, we've put on electronic ignition, our own lightweight alternator, exhaust, and some of the other engine components, but basically we've dropped the weight on a 180 horsepower engine by about 26 pounds, and it's still producing 180 horse. But we're limited to that 180 horse in the light sport category for 5 minutes, and then we reduce the power down to 80, which is a normal cruise power setting anyway, you know, 2250, 2300 RPMs based on whatever altitude you're at. But yeah, the performance, the airplane speaks for itself. It does a very good job, comes up and out of
I mean, you were airborne, and I measured it yesterday. It was about 50 feet.
Yeah.
And the climb rate had to be pretty close to 2,000 feet.
It was about, yesterday with the winds that we had here, yeah, about 45 feet for takeoff and 2,100, 2,200 foot per minute, and it'll sustain that up through, you know, 4,000 to 5,000 feet, and then it'll slowly start dropping off down to, you know, 1,700 to 1,500 foot. But it definitely is a performing airplane. It really is.
The other thing about this airplane, it looks like it was built like for the backwoods, or it's just, everything about it just looked, you know, meaning monster tires on it. I mean, what's the story on the whole theme here?
I think what we were looking for was a light sport aircraft without any compromises. You know, I mean, the only real compromise that we have is the limit of light sport of 1320. But with you and all your gear, a couple people and half tanks, it really is. I mean, you start looking for off-airport landing locations in this airplane, and you fly low and slow and just have fun, and that's really what it's all about with this type of airplane, is kind of the adventure, the mindset of, you know, even though I don't do a lot of bush flying in the airplane, my airplane's capable of doing that. So it'll make a novice bush pilot look very, very good just standing next to it. So it's a lot of fun, but the airplane, the performance speaks for itself. You know, we've owned Valdez up there for a few years in short takeoff and landings with a stock airplane, and it's great on straight floats, and we also offer the Bauman 1500As and the 1500 straight floats. And we're on the water, I think down at Sebring, we were off in about 4.5 seconds. So you don't need a lot of water and you don't need a lot of runway. So our motto is kind of take your airport with you wherever you go. So
and this is a big, roomy airplane too. Yep. You're not jammed into it like you are some of the other airplanes.
Yeah, it is. It has a ramp presence about it when you walk up to it, especially with the 29-inch tires. It sets up pretty high. And inside, I'm 6'3". I can climb in and out of this no problem. The front seat's got a lot of room. The back seat has got a lot of room. Both very, very comfortable seats. The aircraft's got about 3.5 hours range with normal fuel burn. And after 3.5 hours, you're ready to get out and, you know, grab a sandwich and get a little more gas and be on your way. So typically flight planning, you're burning about 8 gallons of fuel an hour. And as you come back on the throttle, the electronic ignition, it actually advances the spark, and it gets quite miserly. I mean, you can get it down to just over 5 gallons an hour, you know, out just tooling around at 70 miles an hour. It does a very good job on fuel also. So.
Now, the airplane is available, I guess, as a light sport aircraft, and then you mentioned experimental, so is it also available in the experimental light sport aircraft category?
Well, what we do is, with all of our aircraft, when they're born, if you will, they all come in our Carbon Cubs, they all come in under that magical 900-pound weight limit, and I believe this one was 883 pounds when it was certified SLSA. And then a lot of our customers that want to go with the bigger tires or the avionics upgrade, or, you know, autopilots or whatever, that's going to add a little bit more weight to that airplane and actually take it over the 900 pounds. What we do then is we recertify the aircraft just basically exchange that SLSA certificate in for an ELSA certificate. And then of course we can deliver it to the customer with the options they want on it. They're going to take them over that 900 pounds, and then the customer really can operate it as an experimental light sport, and that opens up a few other little things that they're capable of doing. You know, if they have the lighting package on it, you can fly the airplane at night at that time. And after I believe it's a 16-hour maintenance course, you can do your own maintenance on the aircraft. So of the majority of the Carbon Cubs that we've manufactured, the lion's share of them really are experimental light sport, because that's how the customers want to operate them. They want to have the big tires on them. So it's just an option. It does limit you, obviously, going experimental in the category of putting it on the flight line for rent or doing, you know, instruction in the airplane. But most of the people buying these airplanes aren't really interested in that. They're interested in going out and having fun in them. So
how many of these airplanes are actually out and flying now?
Well, I just delivered, I think 44 of these, or 45, I believe. We're getting close to 50 of them. It will be over 50 this year. So I think we've only got about 5 or 6 slots left, and we'll be sold out of the Carbon Cub for this year. So it's been a wonderful airplane for us. And with the innovation of Jim Richmond and the engineering staff out there, they're constantly working on upgrading different aspects of the airplane. And they've got a couple other things kind of in the skunk works out there. So it's constantly changing and evolving to meet what the customers demand. So
we're going to show up at Sebring probably with something even a little more.
Well, Sebring, it may be, I don't know. It's, you know, they're pretty tight-lipped about it, but there's a little bit of scuttlebutt going around that they're constantly working on things, and it may be an upgrade to this. It may be a different airplane. It may be, who knows what it's going to be. But we don't sit still for very long out there. So
if somebody wanted to get more information, follow along, get in touch with, what's the easiest way?
The easiest way really is go to our website, CubCrafters.com. We have got just a fantastic website out there. John Bliss is he's a internet wizard, if you will. We've got webcams. You can see your aircraft being built from start to finish. You can design and build your own airplane online, if you will, with kind of point and click options, and the page will actually add up the weight of the aircraft and the cost of the airplane. It tells you how to get in contact with your dealer. We've got a wonderful dealer network set up across the United States of America, but I'd invite anybody to call their local dealer if they have any questions. They can answer the questions, but kind of the initial way to go about it is go online and check out our website, and there's a lot of links on there with some really unique videos on YouTube and everything else too.